Hello, everyone. Welcome to Heart Center Tarot. As always, my name is Marina, and I will be your guide for this portion of the journey. Please help me welcome a special guest for tonight's edition of Kitchen Table Issues, Sherri from Liberal Tarot by Sherri. Hello. Thank you for being here.
Hello. Thank you for having me here.
You know what? There was a lot of really good positive comments after you appeared with me on Story in the Cards, and a lot of people were saying, "Oh yeah, have her back. She's got good energy," and so which is fabulous. Which is what we're always looking for.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're more than welcome. So. Yeah, Cleo was, she sent me an email and she said, I don't know if I mentioned to you that I wouldn't be able to do the show on Thursday. And I thought, you probably did. And I probably sat back and said, okay, make mental note that Cleo can't do the show. And then promptly forgot about it because why not?
Because you replied in your mind. So it was taken care of. I do that all the time.
Yes. Yeah. So really, in that case, I did reply to her and tell her not to worry about it. But, clearly she didn't pick up the message. So anyway, rather than cancel the show, because I always look forward to it, I thought I need to invite someone special. And I thought of Sherri, and I thought this is a great opportunity to kind of do it again and just kind of get into the feels and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So, I haven't yet edited the description in the video to have Sherri's information. I will edit it and put Sherri's information in there. So for those of you that are watching, please go over to Liberal Tarot by Sherri. Make sure that you do the like, share, and subscribe. Check out some of her videos and her tarot readings. They're special, and they're pretty accurate with just the right amount of humor and snark. So it helps.
I got choked up there. Excuse me. I got all choked up.
Yeah. There you go.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, I have a lot of fun. Sometimes I'm a little bit spicier on some days than other days, but yeah, I love doing I've been doing these 3-minute reads. Just like what kind of day is Trump going to have? And those have been fun. It's been a real lighthearted way of kind of digesting, the awful, because I kind of have a place where we can just laugh about it, because laughter is a form of resistance. I am a firm believer in that. And I do my part to help us all laugh through this, even though it's awful.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I can't remember what show it was on, but I did quote you, and I said, yeah, as Sherri from Liberal Tarot would say, laughter is a form of resistance. And it is. It is. Mm-hmm. It raises our energy and it puts things in perspective. So that, it's not even when it looks terrible, find the silver lining. So, excuse me. Okay, now I'm going to start.
I think we both need to clear our throats. Oh my!
Yeah,
I think things are starting to bloom here where I live. And so, anyway, we've had the house opened up. It's been. Where I live, it's like one day it'll be 80 degrees. The next day we'll have snow, and then a tornado warning. I was doing a live on Sunday on my channel, and I was like, oh, well, we have a tornado watch. It's all okay. I'll be fine. And then there was this loud clap of thunder. The lights flicker, the lightning, and I'm like, it's all fine.
Yes.
Those of us that live in Tornado Alley don't get too excited over tornado watches. But tornado warnings we'll get a little bit more excited about.
Yes. Yeah, totally get that. Totally get that. So hello to all of you that have joined us. We've got 71 in the room so far. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I would say hello to each and every one of you individually, but we would be here for a good long time. And then at the end of it, I'd have to say, well, thanks for joining us. Have a great rest of your evening. So just know that, yeah, we appreciate each and every one of you being here and, yeah, and supporting the channels because it means a lot. It really does. Yeah. So I don't know how many of you out there saw or heard that apparently Netanyahu made a speech. He it was like news conference, pointing out very much that, oh no, I'm alive, and we didn't push the U.S. into doing anything. Really, whoever tells Donald Trump what to do, come on, guys, and so on. I watched a little bit of it, and I thought, that's not him. It did not feel like his energy. And I also thought three things. If it's the real Netanyahu, why did they feel it necessary to put out at least 2 different AI generated videos showing him speaking and that, oh, no, I'm fine. One of them, he had 6 fingers on his hands. And his molars, the back of his teeth, would disappear and then come back as he was talking. In the second video, a lot of the people that were in this quote unquote coffee shop that he stopped at, and again to show no proof of life, I am real, and he held up his hands, like, see, 5 fingers, that's how you know it's real. The people that were around him all had masks on. And the little internet sleuths who were doing a lot of the work and kind of panning in and out, panned into the register, and it was something, the date on the register was, I don't know what month, what day.
It was like
2024.
2024. Yeah.
Yes. And yes, innocent potato. He's holding up a cup of coffee, tea, whatever it was that that he was drinking, filled right up to the top. And as he's talking, he's kind of, moving his hand and tilting the glass, but nothing ever comes out of it. And
he drinks out of it and it never goes down.
Yes. Yeah. So,
and then did you see the video that he released of him and Huckabee? He released a video of him and Mike Huckabee, who is the ambassador to Israel, and it was the same clothes that they wore on Mike Huckabee's visit in July.
Really?
Yes, Huckabee had, you guys, I have a really hard time remembering the name correctly because we call his daughter Sarah, what's her name? Sarah Huckabee.
Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
We call her Huckaboo, and so I never can remember the actual name, which is an example of laughter's a form of resistance because they don't like being mocked, and so it's like Huckabee. That's the right, not Huckaboo boo. That's what we call. Okay, so I have to go through this whole thing because I've called her that for so long that I just don't even remember their actual name. But it was he was wearing the same tie, and then Netanyahu never wear sneakers, but he did during that visit, and they were the same sneakers. So they just happened to wear the exact same clothes that they wore in July whenever they met here recently. They coordinated their outfits.
It happens all the time.
Yes.
Yeah. So besides those 2 generated videos. He was supposed to be the keynote speaker. I believe it was yesterday at, I want to say it was some international conference, but he never showed up. So, you put those things together, and if you're alive and well, and if you're in charge and you got your pulse on, or your finger on the pulse of everything that's going on, why do you need to put up those videos? Why do you not show up where you're supposed to be, something that was planned months and months and months ago? Why do you go out of your way to say, oh, no, we didn't force the US into anything, and then repeat some of the same talking points that Trump had, like, oh, we obliterated it. Poof. We've made sure that they can't do this and they can't do that. Okay, if you have subdued Iran, why are you worried about them doing damage to ships going through the Suez Canal? Why? And yeah. So I thought
I was going to say,
maybe
the other thing I noticed is that the things that he's talking about in those videos are very vague, and they're not specific to something that actually happened. It's like a vague thing about the war. And it's like,
yes.
but that, like, where there was no substance. I think the reason he missed his keynote speech yesterday is because he had to get ready for that special news conference today. Because a news conference is so much more important than a keynote speaker. I mean, he had to get it just right.
Practice makes perfect.
Yes.
So yeah, I thought we'll pull a couple cards and see, was it real or was it Memorex? And for those of you who are too young to remember, Memorex was the manufacturer of tapes and cassette tapes way back in the day. And the sound.
Gen X remembers it well. Whenever we were making our mixtapes in the 80s.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, and that was their tagline was, it was, is it real or is it Memorex? Okay. So was it him?
No. No. They were working really hard. There was a lot of hard work. They have to keep things hidden because of the devil. There's him and Don there, chained together, and then the betrayal. So no.
Yeah. I stopped after one card because it said it all. No.
Nope.
Nope.
Okay. Was that Netanyahu yesterday? Oh my God, big no. Oh, oh, you guys can't see that. And I'm asking, was that Netanyahu? And it's got going back. It's like, no, it's going left and right, like big time left and right.
Yes. So
no. Oh my gosh. Okay. It's going to fly out of my hands if I don't stop that. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Not him. So yeah, definitely something that was put together because they're still trying to figure out how they're going to announce this to the world, and how they're going to try to make a martyr of him. And yeah, no one's buying it. No one's buying it.
I did my own personal readings on this, and I did take a picture of the cards, but what I got was that it was going to be on like a Friday evening. I don't know if it's this Friday evening. I would love for it to be this Friday evening, but time and Tro. But the feeling I got was like it was going to be our nighttime, Israel's daytime because of the time difference. And then and then in a separate reading on trying to nail down the time, I got the Tower card for like the Monday after that. So it was almost like they make the announcement, it'll be on that Saturday. the administration will trot out, whoever on the Sunday morning shows. It's going to be a complete disaster. And then the next thing is the tower card, which is Trump. It all falls apart. Like, it's all coming apart at the seams.
Yes.
And I have felt like this administration, probably since the beginning of that end of February, beginning of March, it's like this administration is done. And now we're just waiting for reality to catch up with that energy.
Yes.
So that's where we are. We're waiting. We're the hanged man. Waiting, and we're waiting.
Yes.
TikTok,
absolutely.
come on. Let's hurry this along.
Absolutely. Yeah.
My Sag moon is not that patient.
Yes. Now, Catherine says, does Trump know he's dead?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yes, he does. And again,
Scott Bessent knows that he's dead. Did you see that interview when he was pulled out?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. The president wants to see you right away. Oh, yeah. So,
his buddy in crime, and Trump's calling, but nobody's answering. And so, I think that he does know. And it's like, how are we going to spin this? What story are we going to tell? Because he knows what's getting ready to happen. The restrictions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, geez. And Trump is kind of like, am I next? I think Trump is worried that he's next. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And yes, innocent potato. That was why Bessent was rushed out, because the guy's personality is just always so smug. Whenever you see him, he's just so smug. And you knew that whatever happened shook him to the core, like just literally knocked him on his keister. Does Trump know? I think he does know, and yet some of you are right in that he doesn't remember from 1 minute to the next. His mind is going. So I think that he's he knows, but they're not.
Depends
really
on the moment.
Yes, yeah, it depends on the moment. I get for money and power, and yet he's listening to people who are telling him, no, you got to be quiet. Don't say anything about it, because we're going to go in and we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And he thinks that it's going to gain him approval if he stays silent. And can you not see Trump saying, well, I knew Bibi was dead 2 weeks ago, but I didn't say anything because I know how to keep a secret, but I knew 2 weeks ago that he was dead.
But he's going to spill the beans about keeping the secret. And so it's not going to be a secret that he knew, because that, I think it was epistemic. What is his name? Crisis. He's the PhD who is do you know who I'm talking about, Marina? He is a physical therapist that works with the geriatric population, with that population. Yes. And he's got his PhD, 14 years experience. And he said he's just like waiting for Trump to just spill the beans on, like to tell everything, because that filter, and I always say he's making decisions from a part of his brain he should not be making decisions from. Exactly. And that those guardrails are not there. So it's just a matter of time before he just is like, sure, I did, and doesn't see anything wrong with what it was.
Yes.
Like, he's going to become more like himself and just show us all what kind of,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yes, Michelle Hussey, just like telling about the congressman who is terminally ill with Mike Johnson right there. Oh, that you're talking about medical issues that are private, and you're talking about it as if, and then we went on a picnic and we saw some, white-tailed deer and no clue. No clue. And it was cruel of Trump to laugh. And that's, yeah, like you say, Sherri, that's part of his filter,
Mm-hmm.
not
The,
filtering.
the best part of that was how uncomfortable little MAGA Mike looked. I was like, he deserved that. So I took great pleasure into how uncomfortable he was. He was like, I was like, well, that's what you get there, Mike.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You want to get in the pig pen. You can't complain when you smell like a pig.
Nope.
There you go. It's just what happens. So another interesting thing, and staying kind of in the Middle East is yeah, the Strait of Hormuz that Iran said is closed. And it's closed to US ships and those countries that support the US. If you are not in the US, or if you do not support the US, by all means, you can go through. You're fine. You're okay. Well, the, one of the things that I thought was interesting was in the beginning, the first day out, Trump said, oh, we obliterated their Navy. We obliterated their Air Force. There's nothing there. We obliterated the nuclear facilities and so on. There's, yeah, all their Navy, I can't remember, 50, 55 ships, or they're all at the bottom of the sea. Okay, if you obliterated everything, how is it possible that they're going to be firing on ships that are in the Strait of Hormuz? Why are you calling in other countries to come and help? You've
Mm-hmm.
already done the job.
Oh, we won. Didn't you
Yeah,
hear that?
yes.
We won. We
Yeah,
won. We won the war. And so, but it's not a war. And it's excursion. It's an excursion, but it's a war, but it's not a war. And we won, but we need everybody's help. But, you know,
yeah,
Cuba, I mean, that's,
yeah.
that's kind of the,
Yes.
okay. Yeah,
Yes.
that makes about that much sense.
Exactly. And I got a and I wish I could show it to you, but you wouldn't understand the writing from my cousin in Croatia, and it's a picture of Donald Trump dressed as a Spartan soldier. Okay, and there's a sign going across his chest, and it says, "Day 1, we won. Day 2, we're winning. Day 3, send help."
Yeah.
And
And then day 4, Cuba.
Yeah,
Day 4, Cuba.
yeah, exactly. So, it doesn't make any sense. And even with that quote unquote Netanyahu, entertainment purposes only, um, saying that, oh yeah, and they destroyed the Iran's ability to ever make nuclear weapons and so on. Then why did you need backing from the US if you're able to do all that by yourself? Why did you
Because
need to?
they were 2 weeks. They were 2 weeks away. I
Yes,
2 weeks has been ruined forever. Because now, anytime I say 2 weeks, I just laugh. It's like, oh yeah, 2 weeks. Still
yes,
waiting on that healthcare plan. 2 weeks.
yes. Yeah. Oh, maybe you're onto something. Maybe how Trump had the concept of a plan. Maybe this is the concept of a win.
Concepts,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, yeah. That's
It's kind of like
that's
winning, but not.
yes. Yeah, yeah, exactly. And Mercury Angel says, yeah, I have a very difficult time believing that only 13 Americans died. Yes, well, okay, we can certainly read on it. Is that true or not? Whoops, let me see if I can't take that down. But is it true that only 13?
No. Oh, big no. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm getting big no.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't believe anything coming out of this administration. And here is why. Um, there, there's so little verifiable truth. Why would we think that this was true? Because I mean, it's like everything's a lie, but we're gonna then believe this one thing. No, we're not, because
Yes.
we are not MAGA. We are not going to do that. We are smarter than that. So as far as I just no, I don't believe that. I think we're being lied to every which way we can.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I get internal adversary. So that's yeah, someone doing their very best to try to tell a story in a particular way. And all you have to do is look at the number of soldiers that are seriously injured in hospitals at other bases throughout Europe, at American bases throughout Europe. And you'll see that the number is much, much higher. And I totally agree with you that if, they've lied about everything else up until now, except this one thing. You can bet the mortgage on that. So no, it's there. It is more than 13. In fact, I'm willing to go out on a limb and say it's probably between 300 and 400, and they're just not going to release it because they know how unpopular it is back home. So, yeah, there you go.
Heather had commented, he's going on vibes. Did you hear that? He was it? He said he would know it. He would just feel it when it was done.
Yes.
And I'm like, feel. You're rotting from the inside out, and we're going to go with what you feel.
Yes.
Is that going to be, never mind. I was going to say before or after the stimulants that you're taking so that they can prop you up, there, I mean, like feel. Is that going to be part of the sundowners? Is it going to be sleepy time? Is it going to be like, there's a lot of opportunities there for him to feel something.
Well, exactly. And you know what? If you're going to, excuse me, make major decisions in your life based on what the president feels, then I'd like to introduce you to myself and to my friend Sherri. We deal in feelings too. So,
But actual feelings.
Actual feelings.
Actual things. And because he doesn't have, I mean, the only feeling he has is about himself and to himself. He is like, nobody else matters. It's just him. So if he's going to go on feeling, this war will go on until he feels like he needs to move the narrative to something else.
Yes. So, and as long as you're paying attention to him and not on the Epstein files and the information that's in the Epstein files and the money trail that leads back to him and paints him in a very, very horrible, horrible light, then that's okay. Yeah, you can go with those feelings. Go with those feelings. So speaking of feelings, apparently someone had taken some photos of Barron Trump at Mar-a-Lago, and hold on. He was walking behind his father, and they were not flattering pictures of him. And it was like, I'm following my dad. Here I go. Melania got very, very upset and said that if any pictures of Barron are released that haven't been authorized or haven't been approved or whatnot, that there's going to be consequences, including legal action. Okay. What's wrong with your kid? That's what I'd like to know. What's wrong with your kid that you're hiding, that you don't have the wherewithal and whatever it takes to honestly admit that there is something wrong with your child, and know that the world is not going to come down. It's not going to crack into, and you're not going to be swallowed into the center of it. Somebody took a picture of him. Yeah.
It's just, it's a product of he's a product of that environment and what he was grown up in. And so to be anything other than like their version of the best is weakness. And so we can't show weak. I mean, it's such a twisted thing. I have my master's in counseling, and I look at this and I'm like, I'm not diagnosing, but it's diagnosable. Like I could go through the whole DSM. It was 4 whenever I went to school. So I think they're up to like 5 or 6 now. And I'm like, it's a product. They are a product of their environment. And even if he did need help, look at Trump. He never got. And I'm basing this off of what Mary Trump has said about, like, he had like the learning disability, which now he's turned that on to, Governor Newsom, and, project and deflect there. And so they would never admit that Barron needed any kind of help. And instead they would lash out at anybody trying to point that out, that he needs help.
Yes.
Because they don't want to show weakness.
Exactly. And when you think of the opportunity that was presented with, if she wanted to highlight something as a first lady, to have something where she could do some good, where she could be best, why not admit that, yes, my child is on the spectrum. He's got some challenges. This is what we're doing to help. No, no. So they parade him out every once in a while when they need to, like they did during the first inauguration, where you could see him, and I think that there was a golden opportunity, and I don't want to sound like I'm minimizing it or making fun of it. I think it's the anger in me as a mother, that here you had an opportunity to raise awareness, to talk about something that other families go through. And what did you do? Nothing.
Well, look at how they treated Tim Walz's son. And look at how the Walzes, they did raise awareness and they lifted people up. And compare that to this other situation, and it's night and day. And Catherine had said something. We are not diagnosing here, but she had a really good point. The little sociopath in training. Yeah. Product of his environment. That is what I'm going to go with. Not diagnosing.
Yes. No. I am not a doctor, nor do I play one on TV. And
we're just observing with our eyes what we're seeing in plain sight. But yeah, just that the difference in the way they see that as weakness rather than an opportunity to uplift.
Yes.
Because to uplift, you have to include, it's an inclusive thing to uplift, and they have to be separate, because it's just, the psychologists, students in training, 100 years from now, they're going to look back at this and go, how did people, it's like, oh no, we knew. If you are watching this in 100 years, I want you to know that we knew. And we were trying to, we started channels. We were trying to do something to raise awareness this is not what we voted for. This is not right. And so I saw a meme the other day, and it was like something about thinking about that student having to do their essay about like this time for their history exam, and it's like, oh yeah, I feel you. I don't even want to write the essay, and I'm living through it. So can you imagine in about 50 years that student that has to write that essay on this time of history. Yeah.
Totally. Totally. Yes. And Fallon says maybe that's why he refers to him as her son, because
Mm-hmm.
he won't accept any defects associated with himself. You are not far off the mark, Fallon, because one of the concerns that he had when, and he said this out loud, when Don Jr. was born, and Ivana said, well, we'll name him Donald Jr. And his response was, I don't know if I want to do that. What if he's stupid? Well, then you can call him your son.
I was like, same orchard, same apple, same tree.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Which kind of makes you wonder about, and I know that I've seen the speculations and rumors whenever he says her son. Just a curious observation that I've made.
Yeah, exactly. Her son. Until he does something like, oh my God, he's brilliant. He's so brilliant. Like he goes over to a computer and he's, flips a switch and he turns it on. He's just brilliant. Wow. Okay, then.
That's a low bar in that family, if that's what brilliant is. Which,
yes.
You look at, once again, we're just observing with our eyes what we're seeing. It's like, well, that may be brilliant in that family.
Yes, exactly. And I think we brought this up before in the last week or so, or since it came out, that, Melania said that Barron can't be drafted in the military because he needs to be supervised. Constant, nonstop supervision.
He would have constant supervision there in the military.
He would.
I can't, that would be a great place for him to be. And to be, if he's needing that much supervision, he would be under the watchful eye there for, 24/7.
Absolutely. And why does he need that much supervision? Again, what's wrong with your kid? Why not just, I think that these people have such a profound respect for the truth that they defer to it rarely, if ever.
Yeah.
So that's that. Yeah. I think that's the spin that I'm going to put on this one. So
the truth is to be used sparingly.
Yes.
Because they might run out of the truth. So we have to just kind of parse it out there.
Yes. Yeah.
Which exactly. is why everything they say is like, you'll find this like little bitty, teeny tiny, grain of truth. And that, then they spin this whole thing around it to where it's like, it doesn't even make sense.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, no, they can't serve. And then the other thing is, he can't serve because he's too tall. Because due to military requirements, they do have a minimum and a maximum height. And the maximum height is 6'8", and he is 6'9". So, but I'm wondering if is he 6'9" in his stocking feet? Because I understand that he might have bone spurs as well. So is there any cushioning in those shoes, and that's what gives him the extra lift? I don't know.
And they never did talk about the exemptions that exist and that people over 6'8" have actually served in the military. Now, could he be a fighter pilot? No. Was he going to be a fighter pilot anyway? No. Yeah, so no. I understand there's going to be certain things like, he's not going to like be in one of, Elon's space shuttle.
Yes.
I just aged myself. A space shuttle. I meant rocket. The rockets. I still refer to them as shuttles, but it doesn't matter. He would not be able to do that for a variety of reasons, but height is probably one of them. But there's things that he could do at his height.
Hey,
he'd have no problems.
No, peel potatoes in the mess hall.
Oh, that would be good.
Clean up the latrines.
I wonder if he has any, experience with that because of dear old dad.
Well, Could
I will
be.
leave it at that. We don't have to go
Yes.
down that road any
Yeah.
further. That's like, ew, that's kind of gross.
That the mental image is your own. Yeah.
Yeah. Ew.
And
There's nothing
yeah.
wrong with Beavis and Butthead. I love Beavis and Butthead. Every once in a while I'll be like putting like a hoodie on and I'll be doing and the hood will come on. I'm like, oh, I'm Corn Julio.
Yeah.
It's a thing. I'm not saying it makes me
Yes.
laugh. And so I humor
Yes.
myself with this
Yes.
constant soundtrack of like 80s, and 90s music and sitcoms, comedies, all of that is constantly going through my head.
Absolutely. And there's
I entertain myself.
nothing wrong with
Melania
that. It requires a good
Seuss, she leaves
imagination.
herself open for discovery. She's blowing hot air. Yep.
Exactly. And that,
Oh, he will be
I
under
mean,
Pete's supervision. Oh my God. Whiskey Pete will look out for him.
yes. Come on, let it go. Yeah. He could hoist his own petard. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Diane, he could. So yeah, the idea of any of them serving in the military, that each and every one of them is going to come up with some kind of an exception that they would love to serve because it's a patriotic thing to do, and it's what everyone else should do except me because I have this thing.
Mary Trump had talked about that. And did her father serve or her brother? There was somebody actually who did like Mary Trump's line of the family that either was going to serve. If anybody in the comments remembers this, because I just remember she was saying something that like Fred, her grandfather, Trump's dad, just like disowned them because they were going to serve in the military, or no grandson or son, which I can't remember exactly who it was. Was it Mary's dad that served?
It could have been. I know that he went, he was a pilot. He didn't join the family business because he was a pilot, and that that really upset old man Trump. But yeah, there's a history there that none of them have ever.
Yeah, I just asked here AI, and it was like even Grandpapa left Germany so that he could avoid mandatory service.
Yes.
So,
and then couldn't understand when things got bad in the U.S. and he went back to Germany, why they deported him, and he was getting ready to serve jail time for not doing military service. And so it was like, okay, well,
fraud.
I guess
he was going to do jail time for fraud, and I was close.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is a family history that I don't know anyone should be proud of, but hey.
Fallon 3136 said, I think it was Mary's dad wanted to join the service, became a pilot instead, and then was disowned by the father. Then so it was. I knew that there was one that had. There was the story that they wanted to, but then there was like the family. I really try not to keep up on all the ins and outs of the Trump family.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. And yes, one humble bumble. The grandfather. Yeah, that's he ran a general store and brothel. In Alaska. He started in the U.S. and then made his way up to Alaska, and provided tools and comfort for the guys who were going up to for the gold rush. So, yeah.
Talking about it being
Absolutely.
a product of your environment, Trump, it's like, oh, well, yeah, that just continued on. And
Yeah.
that's, with the
Yeah.
counseling background, like you can look at things don't happen in a vacuum.
Yes.
They don't happen in a vacuum. And somebody, what was it they said? There's an intelligence. I'm trying to get my glasses where I can see.
Yeah.
Leah
All right.
Lisa
Yes. Yes.
Varenga.
Yes. Yeah.
There's an intelligence placement type test to get into the military. They use this to find the job that you're suited for. I wonder if it involves being able to say, what is it, man, woman, camera?
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
what does that test say that Donald's good for? Because like he's supposed to be the commander in chief. So I wonder what that test would say job he's suited for.
Exactly. Exactly. Not
He's not.
not
He's
only
not.
yeah, not only that, but uh, this family is, I think that in generations to come, if not sooner, the word Trump is going to have a meaning and a connotation that we don't fully understand. And it's going to be, when you call someone a Trump, it'll be almost like, oh, them's fighting words.
Yeah, I'm like, is Henry? I think his first name was Henry Mudd. Your name is Mudd. Mudd
Mud.
and Benedict Arnold would like to have a word with history.
Yes.
And even around here, we'll say things. This is only within my house. We'll say, well, that's all trumped up, meaning
Yes.
all effed up,
Yes.
So that's how we're using it around here. And actually not very often because I can't even stand the name. If I never hear that name again, I'll be so happy.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm torn between history needs to remember this, and I'm actually being serious. History needs to remember this, but can we remember it without like him and his name? I don't know how that's possible. Because I just don't ever want to hear his name again.
Yeah. No, I have a feeling that in generations to come, and maybe even with just the next generation, they're going to be legally changing their name, just like the royal family when they changed their name from Battenberg, Gotham, whatever, to Windsor. Yeah, I think that they'll be doing the same thing. It will be something else, but it's something that is going to follow them wherever they go, whatever they do. It's going to be there. So, how's the price of oil in your area?
We're in a little bit of a pocket here. Let me check. I will check Gas Buddy real quick just to tell you. And it's going up, but it's not as bad as what it is in California. Our current gas at Costco. Oh, crap. 304 is Costco. It was, and here's one at Sam's was $2.94, and yesterday it was $2.80 something. So yeah, we're up to now $3. That's surprising for us. We usually are kind of some of the last where I live. We're kind of one of the last places where gas prices will jump like that. But we're seeing that. We're also I'm expecting to start seeing like surcharge, like what is that? The gas charge on like groceries and stuff like that. We're going to start getting that as well. I mean, I know that's so yeah.
Yeah, I was double checking before the show because my son had mentioned that one of the things that he had to do after he took the dog to the dog park was that he had to stop and get gas. And I thought, oh, okay, well, we should figure out how much the gas is here in gallons. And I think it's like $3.78.5, something along those lines, which no, actually I tell a lie. It's $3.78.5 per liter, and there's almost 4 liters to a gallon, or 3 point. Never mind, I screwed that up. Anyway, sorry. It's about $7.28.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, a gallon.
Wow.
Yeah, and that for us, that's a lot. That's a lot. We're normally, somewhere in the maybe $5.50, $6 range. Yeah, 3.8 liters to a gallon. Thanks, Bird. So yeah, it's gonna get worse.
It is going to get worse.
Worse. Yeah. And Irene says, yeah, $1.60, $1.63 Canadian per liter in Hamilton. And yeah, it's $1.66 per liter here in Calgary. That's what it was earlier in the day. So there you go. And now what have you got happening on your channel that we could tell the good folks about?
Well, I do a daily, it's like a 3-minute read, and I'm doing those for a couple of reasons. One, I want to practice being able to do a reading in 3 minutes just to see what can I get in 3 minutes. And it's very snarky. It's very funny. About like what, just a daily check into what little Dumpy Pants is doing. What kind of day is he going to have? And I always say, we only wish for him to have the very worst. And those have actually been really accurate. I've been really, they're funny and they're snarky, but they're very accurate. And then I do the long form readings. I was having the energy today. I was doing readings today, and oh man, I don't know. Something big is getting ready to happen. The best thing I could feel is like, I was telling Marina before the show, we were backstage, and it feels like this pin-up energy, and that when Mercury goes direct, and that's tomorrow, right? Mercury goes direct tomorrow. It's going to be just like a cannonball exploding out. And so I'm expecting, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't hear something from like Netanyahu, whatever's going on with him, or not, as it may be. And so, yeah, things are, so the readings today were a little difficult. They haven't posted. I'm going to try again tomorrow. I think the energy will be better. I say that. And my guys are like, oh, bless your heart for trying. We know that but it's the Epstein files. It's everything comes back to the Epstein files. So I don't.
Yes.
How many readings can I do on the Epstein files? Yeah, they're going to come out. But yeah, so I have the 3-minute shorts, and I have the longer videos, and then I have most Sundays I do lives at 2.
Oh, perfect.
So
perfect. And for those of you who don't know, Sherri also does personal readings. So if you're so inclined and you'd like to reach out and get some more information on how to book yourself in for a reading, then
I am getting very ready to start offering those. April is the goal there, to be able to start offering readings, and my contact information is there. So Marina, why don't you tell us what you've got coming up?
Actually, over the next couple days, I don't have anything, which is it's going to work out very well, because as some of you know, I've been dealing with my sciatica is acting up, and it's taken me for a loop, which means that I tend to, the last few days I've been taking the Robaxacil or whatnot. That makes me loopy. So it's a good thing that I don't have any shows. Otherwise, who knows what would come out of my mouth. So I'm going to take the next couple of days and just kind of rest up and get to know my heating pad a little better. Next week is going to be nice and full. And then big event on Saturday the 28th is the Shine Your Light event. So look for the notices on the YouTube channel for that, and how you can join us, and why we have the Shine Your Light event. It's really a fabulous way to raise your energy and keep your energy positive. So there's that. If you're interested in booking a reading with me, or finding out about some of the courses and classes that I offer, then you go to my channel, which is my webpage, which is marinasheartcentertarot.com. And there's a lot of information on there. Check it out, see what's available, get yourself in. You're never consider that you need to have a particular level of psychic ability or whatnot to take any of the courses. You don't. It's just allowing yourself the opportunity to expose yourself to some of these tools, and you'd be surprised at just how much information you already have. You already know. You just didn't know that you knew it. So there you go. All righty. Well, there's that. And thank you, all of you, for joining us. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to show a little bit of support for Sherri and her channel, which is Liberal Tarot by Sherri. And I will amend the description of the video so that her information will be reflected in there. Yeah.
I just want to add one thing, Marina, about that the event on March 28th. That is the same day as the No Kings protest. So we're going to have all this great, wonderful energy that we can then come home, have a nice meal, and then join the event on the 28th that evening, and just keep that energy flowing out into the universe even more. So because I checked my phone to make sure, I was like, I've got to make sure I don't have anything that night. I was like, oh my gosh, that's the No Kings Day. That's perfect. So it'll be a wonderful day of great energy.
Absolutely. That is fabulous. Yeah. And just quickly, Michelle Hussey and Edward Kenneth just said that they subscribe to your channel.
Oh,
so yeah.
Well, thank you. I will see you
and
guys
Bora
there.
Bora.
We have so much fun in the chat. So yeah, I really, what's really nice is that my channel is kind of small right now. And so like I can get to know people. And so like when people comment, I'm like, oh, I recognize that person. And I always, 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 always welcome anybody's interpretation. Like if I've missed something, and I have had some fantastic people, comments of, well, did you notice this? Did you see that? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I totally missed that. So, and then like what other people are getting in their readings, because it just adds like a really nice depth, to the reading. And so I always welcome. I could geek out on tarot for hours. Sometimes people will be like, oh, could you tell me about the deck that you used? And I'm like, I'm so sorry. And I'll write like, like this whole big thing. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. That was probably way more than you wanted to know. But yeah, we have a great time over there.
Yeah.
And as I said, it's smaller now so that I can actually get to know people. And so that's kind of nice. I like that.
It is. It is very nice. And we are smart enough to know that we don't know everything. So when it comes to comments or whatnot, always open to them. Always, always, always.
Yes.
All righty. Well, thank you again, Sherri, for doing this last
minute. You're welcome.
And you guys will see you on April the 2nd. And have a great one. And we'll see you later. So bye for now.
Bye, guys.